Einen wunderschönen guten Abend hier vom Frankfurter Römerberg, 2 Tage vor der Ironman Europameisterschaft 2019. Nils, es hat sich eine ganze Menge getan um uns zu. Wir haben gestern noch oben auf einem Container gestanden. Heute stehen wir da, wo am Sonntagabend so richtig die Post abgehen wird.
Wir haben ein Zieltor.
Zieltor. Das Zieltor. Oben drüber thront und leuchtet das Ironman-Logo. Das möchten so viele sehen hier am Sonntagabend. Um diese Zeit ist schon das Allermeiste geschafft.
Eigentlich ist es hier die coolste Zeit, wenn man mit der Quali nichts mehr zu tun hat, dann wird es eigentlich jetzt richtig cool, wenn es jetzt anfängt zu dämmern, die blauen Lichter gehen an, die Tribünen füllen sich wieder. Ja, und dann wird es richtig emotional, wenn die Leute einfach hier ins Ziel kommen, die einfach nur glücklich sind, dass sie wieder hier sind.
Ja, emotional wird diese Sendung auch für uns, denn wir haben einen ganz besonderen Gast. Mark Allen wird bei uns sein in wenigen Minuten, der 6-fache Champ des Ironman Hawaii, The Grip. Der wird uns tolle Geschichten erzählen, wir haben tolle Bilder mitgebracht. Aber erstmal reden wir noch über das, was sich heute hier abgespielt hat. Ja. Immer mehr Athleten sind da. Hier an dieser Stelle hat heute schon das Wettkampfbriefing stattgefuffen.
Ja, das war eindrucksvoll. Also es ist nämlich, wir haben schon öfter darüber gesprochen, es ist richtig heiß. Ja. Und so auch heute Mittag. Und dann es ist eine Pflichtveranstaltung, man muss hier sitzen und man muss hier in der brütenden Sonne sitzen. Man muss sich jede Abzweigung anhören und nochmal erklären lassen, was Windschattenfahren ist und so weiter. Aber es ist wichtig. Es ist einfach wichtig, dass man sich das anhört, damit man von nichts überrascht werden kann.
Ja, es gibt sicher noch einigen Diskussionsbedarf um die Wassertemperatur weiterhin. Die Kampfrichter halten sich natürlich noch bedeckt. Gemessen wird am Sonntagmorgen, aber wir alle wissen, 25 Grad sind 25 Grad. Ja. Und so wie es uns hier tagsüber ging, wird das auch nicht wegzudiskutieren sein.
Nein, das ist eigentlich auch schon klar, aber es ist auch gut, dass sie sich dran halten. Sie sagen, sie wollen kein Risiko eingehen, dass was auch immer noch irgendwas passiert und sagen halt einfach, gemessen wird davor, und dann wird es halt erst verkündet. Also Sie haben ja heute schon gesagt, ihr könnt euer Neo zu Hause lassen. Ja.
Was hier wenige Meter vor uns stattfindet, ist die Expo. Da sind wir heute mal drüber gegangen. Wir haben einen kleinen Film mitgebracht. Wir waren heute mal im Ironman-Merchandising-Zelt. Und ja, da gibt's viele bunte Sachen und die Leute kaufen.
Ja, tütenvoll. Also kaum ein Athlet, der hier das schafft, an der Expo vorbeizulaufen, ohne da durchgegangen zu sein. Und dann, dann gibt's richtig coole Sachen.
Ja,
muss man
auch
sagen.
Für Kids, ja. Man denkt auch an die Kundschaft der Zukunft.
Ja, an die Crew auf jeden Fall. Ne?
Ja, also, auch. Ja.
Und dann, das berühmte M-Dot-Shirt mit allen Teilnehmern. Und wenn man genau hinguckt, dann sieht man in der Mitte
Franz Löschke.
Ganz genau.
Gestern war er unser Gast.
So ist es. Und das ist natürlich cool. Da steht man halt drauf, ist eine coole Erinnerung.
Ja, ich meine, das ist die Schlange an der Kasse gewesen, ja. Die Leute, die hier zum ersten Mal starten, die nehmen natürlich was mit. Ja. Also nicht nur Erinnerungen, sondern man möchte ja auch irgendwo das Logo zeigen.
Ja, eine Kuhglocke oder ein Eiskratzer oder eine Tasse oder ein Autoschild. Es gibt alles. Alles.
Das auf jeden Fall. Ja, Cappies, der wollte, glaube ich, alle kaufen gerade.
Ja, genau. Du hast ein bisschen gestört, glaube ich. Ne?
Ja, genau. Er war eine Auswahl. Hier mit Socken wird auch noch ausgewählt. Der Mann hat schon ein Shirt, der war schon mal woanders am Start.
Absolut, ja. Also ich glaube auch tatsächlich die Kuhglocke.
Ja,
das ist mein Favorit.
Ich glaube, das müssen wir Marc nachher mal fragen, ob er auch eine Kuhglocke mitnimmt von diesem Rennen.
Ja, genau.
Ist das so ein europäisches Phänomen? Wahrscheinlich. Kommt aus der Schweiz. Ich glaube, da habe ich es zum ersten Mal gesehen beim Ironman in Zürich. Ne?
Da werden jetzt die Leute im Allgäu wieder schwer schimpfen. Das heißt ja natürlich Schelle.
Schelle, genau. Jetzt kriegen wir wieder Schellen. Ne? Ja, was war sonst heute bei dir auf dem Programm?
Oh, ich habe mich heute mit Lesern getroffen tatsächlich, die mir ihre Räder gezeigt haben. Wir haben in einer der nächsten Ausgaben, möchten wir außergewöhnliche Räder vorstellen von unseren Lesern. Und da habe ich 2 heute fotografiert. Und es war spektakulär. Also das kann man schon mal sagen. Also ich bin immer wieder beeindruckt, mit was für Material hier an den Start gegangen wird. Aber da reden wir morgen noch ganz viel drüber, wenn wir in der Wechselzone waren und dann auch nochmal von da ein paar Bilder mitgebracht haben.
Genau, ich sehe hier, Niklas fragt, sind mit Blick auf das Hitzerennen am Sonntag auf der Messe irgendwelche Neuheiten bezüglich Körperkühlung zu beobachten? Ich habe gesehen, die ganzen Neoprenhersteller haben die Neoprenanzüge wieder eingepackt und die Speedsuits rausgehängt.
Ja, oder einen ordentlichen Rabatt noch dran geschrieben. Ne? Keine Ahnung, gibt's da Schnäppchen? Ich weiß es nicht.
Keine Ahnung, Kühlung ist so ein Thema. Wir haben uns heute eine Neuentwicklung angeguckt. Das ist so ein System, nennt sich Eisbein. Der Name ist Programm. Da steckt man seine Beine in große Hülsen, die mit Wasser durchflossen werden und hat so ein Kühlgerät dabei, was relativ robust ist und groß. Das kühlt das Wasser so auf 8 bis 10 Grad runter. Das ist dann eher für nach dem Rennen und auch nicht auf dem Rad transportabel. Aber Kühlung ist so ein Thema. Ja? Kühlung und Regeneration.
Klar. Ja, wir haben ja mit Patrick Lange auch drüber gesprochen. Nicht umsonst lässt er sich einen neuen Anzug machen, einen Custom-Anzug, der wirklich echt Fächer überall hat, wo er einfach Eiswürfel reinstopft.
Ja.
Ne? Einfach auf der Innenseite nasse Schwämme überall hinstecken und die werden dann halt bei jeder Verpflegungsstation ausgetauscht. Ne?
Ja, einer unserer Präsenter, der hat auch auf der Expo ausgestellt, nach der Pause sind wir wieder bei euch. Wir haben gestern versprochen, wir reden heute über das Frauenrennen. Ja, gestern haben wir über die Männer gesprochen, da geht es um die großen drei. Bei den Frauen große zwei, so wurde es auf der Pressekonferenz so ein bisschen gehandelt.
Ja, aber
oder auch bei uns im Vorfeld, aber es gibt eine ganze Menge.
Ja klar, also das ist ja wie immer, es gibt nicht die Top-Favoritin, das kann man, glaube ich, nicht sagen. Und es wird eine interessante Konstellation ergeben, weil nämlich eben sehr, sehr viele starke Radfahrerinnen dabei sind. Und wenn man jetzt mal Daniela Bleimel nimmt, die ja auch sehr, sehr stark ist und auch jetzt in dieser Saison ja schon super starke Radleistungen gezeigt hat, da ist einfach viel zu erwarten. Aber für sie wird es natürlich darauf ankommen, sich abzusetzen. Denn das ist auch kein Geheimnis, dass auch stärkere Läuferinnen hier dabei sind. Ist halt auch der Fall. Und
auch stärkere Schwimmerinnen, also sie hat ja auf der Pressekonferenz gesagt, auf dem Rad wird Druck gemacht und das tut allen anderen weh.
Genau, so ist es. Aber das tut dann allen weh.
Ja, wir haben mal uns ganz fachkundigen Rat geholt. Wir haben nämlich mit einer Athletin gesprochen, die das Rennen hier schon an dieser Stelle gewonnen hat. 12 Jahre ist es her, wir haben Nicole Leder getroffen und sie mal gefragt, wen sie für die Favoritin im Frauenrennen hält. Die Hitze steigt so langsam hier in Frankfurt, 2 Tage vor dem Ironman 2019 und im Jahr 2007. Da gab es schon mal ein heißes Rennen hier, ein heißes Frauenrennen. Nicht nur, weil das Wetter auch einigermaßen warm war, ich weiß es gar nicht mehr, wie es damals war, aber weil das Rennen sehr, sehr spannend war. Und zwar haben sich damals Andrea Steinbecher, hieß sie damals schon Steinbecher?
Nee, die hieß noch Brede.
Die hieß noch Brede und Nicole, die hieß damals schon Leder, haben sich ein ganz spannendes Duell geliefert. Nicole hat es am Ende gewonnen. Nicole, wie erinnerst du dich an diesen Tag zurück im Jahr 2007?
Ja, na klar, auch für mich als Athletin ein einmaliges Rennen, wenn du beim Ironman im Sprint auf den letzten 200 Meter erst die Entscheidung hast. Ja, einfach gigantisches Rennen hier vor meinem Heimatpublikum.
Ja, und jetzt schauen wir voraus auf den Sonntag in diesem Jahr. Was sind für dich die großen Favoritinnen im Rennen?
Na klar, Daniela Bleimel, bisher überragende Saison und Sarah Drew, die zwar vor ein paar Wochen in der Hitze mal geschwächelt hat, aber ich glaube, also sie hat schon bewiesen, dass es kann. 4. Platz auf Hawaii und denke, gerade hinten raus beim Laufen sehr, sehr stark.
Aber auch erst hinten raus, vorne beim Schwimmen auch schon, da wird die Daniela ein bisschen Probleme haben, erstmal dran zu bleiben, denke ich.
Ja, die Daniela wird auf dem Rad ihre Stärke ausspielen. Da ist sie wirklich, wir haben es gesehen in Samorin, mittlerweile hat sie so einen Druck. Beim Schwimmen wird, denke ich, die Imogen Simmons ganz vorne rauskommen. Ich habe sie bei der Selfish Night gesehen, da ist sie beim Jan an den Füßen dran geblieben. Also das kann man nur, wenn man richtig fit ist im Wasser. Die wird vorne dabei sein. Die Sarah Drew natürlich auch, kommt von der Kurzdistanz, aber die Dani hat ordentlichen Druck in den Beinen und ich denke, die werden wir schon wahrscheinlich Ende der ersten Radrunde vorne sehen.
Also ein Rennen mit vielen Führungswechseln, prognostizierst du hier?
Ja, das wäre doch schön. Also ich freue mich auf ein spannendes Frauenrennen, werde das am Sonntag auch live mit dem HR verfolgen dürfen und kommentieren dürfen und ja, ich würde mich einfach freuen, wenn es ein enges, spannendes Rennen wird bei den Frauen.
Ja, einer unserer Zuschauer hat festgestellt, hey, da sitzt sogar der Lothar, der war da im Hintergrund. Aber für Nicole Leder, Daniela Bleimel, große Favoritin, das wäre schon gut für dieses Rennen, wenn auch mal wieder eine Deutsche gewinnen würde.
Wir müssen ja neutral sein, aber aus Sicht des Rennens wäre das bestimmt. Aber ja, ich bin so extrem gespannt tatsächlich darauf, ob ihr Plan aufgeht, eben ob das reicht. Ne? Weil es sind auch so ein bisschen ja auch Unbekannte dabei. Ne? Sarah Drew hat zum Beispiel auf der Pressekonferenz gesagt, sie würde Geld darauf setzen, dass ein Rookie aufs Podium kommt. Imo Simmons ist ja gefallen schon der Name. Ja, ist so ein bisschen so eine Wundertüte. Ne? Auf der 73-Distanz hat sie sehr, sehr gut performt und jetzt muss sie das halt bei ihrem ersten Ironman hier zeigen, ob sie das auf die Langstrecke bringt. Und Sarah Drew war nach ihrem, sie wollte sich eigentlich qualifizieren, hat es nicht geschafft und wollte eigentlich nicht hier starten. Also das muss man ja so sagen, das ist...
Du bist ja relativ nah dran.
Ja.
Du hast hier die aktuelle Ausgabe mitgebracht, die aktuelle Triathlon, da hast du ein Porträt geschrieben über Sarah Drew. Du hast sie getroffen, gerade in den USA.
Genau. Und ja, also da hat sie es auch gesagt, ihr Fokus lag ganz klar auf ihrem ersten Versuch und da sollte das klappen. Und dass sie es ranhängen muss, ja, das hat ihr, glaube ich, schon wehgetan. Aber sie ist top motiviert, sie weiß ja, was sie drauf hat. Und das ist eine ganze Menge. Also gerade im Laufen hat sie ja mega Performance abgeliefert, auch auf Hawaii ganz stark gelaufen. Und sie hat zu mir gesagt damals auch, vielleicht fehlte mir bisher noch wirklich diese schlechte Erfahrung, um Sicherheit zu gewinnen, um zu wissen, okay, so fühlt sich das also an, wenn es schlecht läuft. Ja. Und das passiert dann. Und es ist sie um diese Erfahrung reicher. Und wir werden sehen, ob es dann jetzt hier fürs erste Mal reicht. Also, dass sie ganz vorne landet. Zuzutrauen ist es ihr definitiv. Ja,
eine Frage war eben, warum startet die andere Daniela Rief nicht hier? Die ist nächste Woche unterwegs.
Genau.
In Klagenfurt. Und wir wissen alle, Daniela Rief ist eine schnelle Athletin und Klagenfurt eine schnelle Strecke. Ich weiß nicht, was sie davor hat, aber da werden wir natürlich auch aus Rot, wo wir beide am Start sind, auf der einen oder anderen Schiene, irgendwo einen Blick drauf werfen.
Klar, gucken wir dann natürlich drauf und natürlich denkt man bei ihr immer automatisch fast daran, dass es ein Rekordversuch werden würde. Aber ich bin gespannt, wann sie da wirklich mal genervt drauf reagiert. Oder ob sie das auch so hinnimmt. Ne? Dass sie einfach sagt, ja, ich meine, ich glaube, bei Daniela Rief ist tatsächlich mittlerweile so, dass sie sich ja irgendwelche Ziele suchen muss. Ja? Also es ist meistens, fast immer ist sie die Top-Favoritin, eigentlich immer.
Ja.
Und meistens bestätigt sie das ja auch. Also wann hat sie ein Rennen? 2016. 73. WM und hier in Frankfurt, als es kalt war.
Ja.
Da musste sie vom Rad steigen, weil sie unterkühlt war und konnte nicht mehr weitermachen. Kannst du dich an weitere Rennen erinnern, die sie nicht gewonnen hat?
Wenige. Es war mal eine 73 WM und vor allem das Rennen in Frankfurt hier.
Das war's. Genau.
Ja.
Und das seit vielen Jahren.
Ja.
Und es besteht kein Anlass dafür zu glauben, dass das aufhört.
Ja.
Aber sie ist nicht hier, sie ist da.
Sie ist nicht hier.
Genau.
Aber wer hier ist, das haben wir eben schon angekündigt, ist einer, der 6-mal gewonnen hat, und zwar den Ironman auf Hawaii. Wir machen eine kurze Pause und dann ist er bei uns, Mark Allen. Bis gleich. Ja, da sind wir wieder. Hier ist in unserer Mitte. Er hat 6 Anläufe gebraucht. Beim 7. hat es geklappt. 1989 mit dem legendären Ironwar of Hawaii. Mark Allen ist bei uns. Hi, Mark.
Great to be here. This is amazing. You know, I've heard so much about Ironman Frankfurt for years, and just standing here at the finish chute, you know, seeing the setup of the stadium, seeing the chute coming out, you know, as the athletes would be coming in, surrounded by buildings that in the United States you would never see, you know, historic buildings that are probably older than the United States itself, right?
Maybe.
And I'm just excited for it. And you know, being at the press conference, seeing the top athletes, the top men and women, the tension, and I know that feeling of those few days before the race. I'm glad I'm watching.
Yeah, of course, we are talking in English now. Wir sprechen auf Englisch, aber ihr könnt uns natürlich im Live-Chat eure Fragen schicken. Wir versuchen sie zu beantworten. Kommen nicht hinter jeder Frage hinterher. Aber Nils, wir reden über den Ironwar.
Yeah. You talked about Ironwar so many times, I guess, but we love to hear the story again.
So, and we have some pictures. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So maybe you can tell us something about this experience.
Yeah. So we start at the bike. The swim is almost the same like today.
Yeah, the swim in 1989, you know, to set the stage, Dave Scott and I had raced each other many times. I had raced Ironman 6 years already. Never could I win it. It was second, third, fifth. Dave Scott, coming into 1989, had already won 6 titles, and so he was by far the favorite.
Yeah, by the way, this is Wolfgang Dittrich, a German athlete. He was always the leader after the swim, but not long.
yeah, Wolfgang, there was no chance of staying with him on the swim. He was such an amazing swimmer. But we usually were able to catch him sometimes by the end of the bike, sometimes the early part of the run. But on this day, Dave Scott and I were literally together the entire swim, the entire bike ride. I stayed just behind him because I thought, he knows how to do this race. He knows how to pace it. He knows how hard to go on the bike so that you have a lead, but then you can still run a fast marathon. And so I thought, all right, I'm just going to stay there. Wolfgang was in and out first, but
then you're coming in right now. I think.
Yeah, we're coming in right now, and as you can see, I'm trying to get the fast transition. I already have my top down.
Not allowed anymore.
No, I would have been disqualified probably in another year. And as you can see, we're literally just with each other. I knew that the start of the run was going to be challenging because Dave likes to start fast. I like to start a little slower, but I knew that I had to stay with him no matter how fast he went. And that first 10K that he was running, our pace was around 35 minutes for the 10K. So it's under 6-minute miles. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but super fast. And I thought, this is
4-Minuten-Schnitt, yeah.
Yeah, I thought, this is crazy. This is too fast. But then I thought, well, this guy knows how to do it. So I stayed with him. We were side by side. We didn't say one word to each other.
The whole race?
Until one point.
Okay.
And I don't know if they won't show it here, but as we were running through town, his wife jumps out of the crowd with their newborn child that was only a couple months old. And she's running alongside of us going, "Go Dave, go Dave, go Dave." And I thought, how is this woman carrying a child running a sub 4-minute kilometer per mile?
So, this, by the way, is the last view of poor Wolfgang.
Yeah, Wolfgang was a great guy, but he just couldn't hold it together on the run to be at least the champion of this race. Dave Scott, he knew how to pace it. Obviously, we took the lead here, and as you can see, we're moving along pretty fast. And he was always trying to get to the aid stations ahead of me because if he gets in there first, then it confuses the aid station volunteers, and then sometimes I would miss my water and stuff. And he was very, very strategic, And as the race went on, I started to get tired, and I thought, oh no, he's going to win it again, and I can't do it. And some thoughts went through my head that really just brought me back to feeling peaceful and calm, and that's a whole story in itself. But toward the end, I knew that the last long uphill was where
a faster runner than you.
yeah, the aid station guy. I knew that there was one long uphill toward the end of the race, and that's where one of us was going to make the break. I was stronger on the uphills. I knew that Dave was faster on the downhills, so I thought, when we get to the bottom of that hill, both of us are going to get something to drink, and then I have to go as fast as I can because I knew I needed to get a lead on him before we dropped down into town. And so we come into the aid station, and Dave, again, got in front, and he grabbed for one last glass of Gatorade or whatever, and I started to reach in, and something just said, "Go." And I pulled my hand back, and I started sprinting, as fast as you can in an Ironman. And you'll see right here, it opened up a gap, just a few feet, just a little bit.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Dave was struggling because somebody was, in his best part of the race, was pulling away from him. And that was me. And as you can see, his body's shaking back and forth, his head is shaking, and there were hundreds of people following, and nobody was saying a word.
Whoa. It gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, and you can see, I had to just make sure that, where was he? And so from that point forward, I just went as hard as I could because I knew that this was the moment where the race could be made. But it was so important to get to the top of that hill with as much lead as I could. It was about, I don't know, 1.5 kilometers, something hill, long enough that I could put some time on him. And then I kept looking, and then you can see there's a bigger gap, and he's getting farther back. But I didn't know if it was enough because I had to get to the bottom of the hill before him, which I did, and then I knew this was what the outcome was going to be.
Congratulations again.
Again.
Yeah, thank you. It was 7 years to get it right, and the years that I didn't win, I thought, why couldn't I have won earlier? You know, but I learned so much in those tough races that enabled me then in the races that I won in Kona to be able to hold it together, because it's hard. Even when you win, you have moments where you don't think you can keep going, and that's part of the challenge of Ironman. It's also what really gives you that sense of doing something amazing in your life when you make it past those points where you could have quit, but you don't, and you hold on and you keep going. And you'll see here Dave is just completely devastated by getting second. You know, he gave everything he had, and neither of us would have had that race had the other one been missing that day. You know, we had that amazing race that was so fast. He broke his record by over 17 minutes. I did my best time by almost 30 at that point. And the difference at the end of the day between our times, first and second place, was 58 seconds. A very, very, very small difference on such a long day.
We would love to see such a decision on Sunday again. Battle on the run course. What do you think?
Yeah, it's very possible. You know, you have Sebastian Kienle, who certainly can pull away on the bike and give the runners a tough time. You've got Jan and you've got Patrick, both incredibly fast marathon runners. Obviously, Jan last year putting together an amazing marathon. Patrick in Kona the last 3 years actually running just like a bullet out of just like a freight train. He was so fast. And so if those two are together on the marathon, which they haven't been, you could see a finish like that.
Yeah, every time when we see you and Patrick together, there seems to be some special connection. What's that about?
You know, he races kind of like the way I did. You know, he doesn't try to get away on the bike. He uses his strength on the bike to conserve his energy so he can have a great marathon. And that's the way I always raced my Ironmans, and I had great success with that. And there's athletes that want to win because they want to beat everybody else, and there's other athletes that want to win because they know they have a great race inside themselves, and that's what they're trying to bring out. And that seems to be the way Patrick is. That was the way I was. You know, other guys, like I'll have to say Dave Scott was definitely, he was out there to beat everybody else, and I was out there to try to certainly win, but to just put together the best race that I possibly could. And Patrick seems to have that inside of him. So, you know, we kind of in many ways on the same sort of mindset of how we approach races. And, you know, I got nervous, he gets nervous, you know, but we've also been able to overcome that. And obviously, you know, his race last year, setting a world record in Kona, first guy under 8 hours. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Is it true that he came to you and apologized for stealing your run course record?
Yeah,
3 years ago.
3 years ago, when he found out at the finish line that he had broken my course record, Mike Riley was interviewing him, and he saw me, and he goes, "Mark, I'm so sorry I broke your record," you know, which is nice because he, you know, was like a respect for what I had done, and but. Truly amazing. First guy to run under 2:40 in the marathon in Kona, which is certainly not easy to do.
Yeah.
We have a question. Do you think that that it's possible in the future that again there will be an athlete competing and winning 6 times in Kona?
It's always possible, yeah, for sure.
Do you think of the guys that are now competing here?
Well, if anybody has a chance, I would say it's Patrick because of his age. You know, he's won twice. He still has a lot of good years ahead of him if he would like to. I think, you know, Sebi he may be on his peak of, you know, for him to go and win a whole bunch more. I don't think that will happen. Jan Frodeno, you never know. And then there's, you know, in the women, there's somebody like Daniela who could, obviously, she could win 6 or more.
She has the time.
She has the time. She's young enough, and she's already has plenty of wins. So, you know, but it won't be easy for sure. And it never was easy to win 6. Obviously, only 2 of us have done it in history. And a lot of guys, you know, they win once or twice, and then that's it. You know, it's very hard to keep coming back. You know, the training is hard. It's hard to get to the start line healthy, as you saw last year, Pat. Jan not even making it to the start line. And so you need a lot of good luck, and you need to be really smart and to pace yourself each year so that you hit that race at the peak, not a month before or 2 months after. And it's a hard formula to get right.
Yeah. There's one question: is the fight between Jan Frodeno, Sebastian Kienle, and Patrick Lange somehow comparable to the Big Four, which was you, Dave Scott, Scott Molina, and Scott Tinley?
It's very much like that. Look, you've got all of them have won Ironman in Kona. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And 2 of them have won here. So you have these guys that are just incredibly at the top of their game, top of the world-class athletes. They've all set records. They've all won world championships. And so, to have them all from the same country is similar to, me and Tinley and Dave Scott and Molina. And it's exciting to see.
Another question was, you seem to be very fit. How many hours do you train per week by now?
Train? No. I live in Santa Cruz, California, and when I was a kid, I learned how to surf. And so now almost every day I surf, and I just love that. It's cardio, it's stretching, it's stress relief, it's time in nature, it's time just hanging out with my friends in the water, and then I do some running, but short and nothing fast. And I also this year got all excited about cycling again, riding on Zwift, and so I do that a couple days a week, and then I do some.
What's your name there?
M. Allen. M. Allen. Yeah, you'll see me. And so, and we actually have a group ride that we do every Tuesday evening, California time. And then I also do some strength work. So it's just, I'm on lifestyle to stay healthy, to hopefully live a long life, to be active my whole life. And I'm happy to coach other athletes and to have them go do the races now.
Your first big win was 30 years ago, and you said it's very inspiring to see the stadium. Is there still something that you say, I will do it again? Not winning, maybe, but
I don't think I'll race Ironman ever again, or any races really. I was a competitive swimmer for 12 years, and then I raced professionally as a triathlete for 15. So I have 27 years of pushing my body to the limit, and I think that's enough for one lifetime.
It's a pity that we won't see you again in this perfect jersey you had. Do you still have it?
I have the first win and I have the last win jerseys. Yeah, those will always be precious, physical pieces. But the most precious part are just the memories of those races. Those 2 especially, 1989, 1995, when Thomas Hellriegel gave me the toughest race of my life, and and then it continues. Like I come here and I can remember the excitement of my racing, and the people who are here are excited about the racing and racing an Ironman, and then to have it finish, in the square here is just. It's just, each Ironman has its own character and feel and thing that really gets the athletes excited. And when I saw this today, I thought, oh my God, I wish I had been able to race this one.
Yeah.
It started in 2002. When was your last Ironman race?
My last Ironman was in 1995. So I missed it by a few years, but that's all right. I'm here anyway, so I'll experience it from the other side of the finish line, which is great.
Yeah. There was one question by Niklas Schütz who asked how is the American view of races like this and the German dominance in Kona? What do the Americans think about the Germans winning year by year?
They just go, what are they doing over there? How are they so good? It's inspiring the Americans, and that's, I think, what maybe we did when in the 80s and 90s is we were inspiring the Germans and the Australians. And, when you have a group of people who are at the top from the same country, it kind of helps create this excitement, I think, about the sport, and everybody then wants to be like the Germans and to race like them and to have that strength and to have that fitness and that skill and that strategy and just the preparation, and it just helps keep the sport alive and healthy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we do a little break and then we are talking about Kona again. We see some pictures. Yeah, so we're talking about Kona. What is Kona for you? You're there year by year. Do you travel there in other months than October?
Usually just October. Last year I was there for the 70.3 they have in June, but it's where the Ironman really took off. It was born on the island of Oahu, but it really burst onto the world scene in 1982 October, being on the Big Island. That was the second race they had there, and it's just the energy of the island that really makes that race what it is, and I think is what made Ironman this dream for people around the world. If it had been put on in Santa Cruz, California, where I live, there's no way it would be the same event. It wouldn't have the same magic. But the island itself it's this very powerful place. You can feel the energy of it, and when you get there, part of you is excited by it, and part of you is just like, geez, I have to race in this. The heat, the wind, the humidity, the sun, but it's also just this feel of the island. And you've been there, so you know what I'm talking about. But the first time I arrived there, I got off the plane and I was walking to right on the runway to go to where you get your luggage, and I just felt like I was being crushed by this intensity. And it took me years to finally be able to understand that I can embrace that, and instead of trying to push it away. Each place has its own feel. Each race has its own ambiance and thing that makes it special. And for Hawaii, it's just that real power that's there, and that helps bring out the best in people. That really, even though it's challenging, it brings out the best, and that's why you see from the first to the last finisher, it's very, very special.
Yeah. You meet the old guys there. It's like a, what do you call it, homecoming every year.
Yeah.
And you're telling the stories of the past with them.
Yeah, it's kind of like a high school reunion.
Yeah.
You're seeing the guys that you race against, and a lot of the people that I've met over the years that I only see one time a year. So it's real special. It becomes this extended family that you have that shared experience, and you know what it was, and you know what the people who are racing are going to go through on race day, and so it's just it's real special. And more people are coming to watch because they can feel it. Even if they're not triathletes or not even into sports, they can feel just the energy and the excitement and the joy of when people come down that finishing chute, like we'll see here on Sunday evenings, Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. For all those people out there dreaming of doing it one day, what does it take? You coaching athletes, you won the race. What does it take to get there?
Just it takes patience, to slowly build your fitness to get better at swimming, cycling, and running, and so you start with an Olympic distance race, and then maybe you do a 70.3 race, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, the end of this year I'm going to do an Ironman, and for sure, if you have a coach, that helps, because there's things that you can do that will be the right things, and some things that can. Maybe it's too much or too little, and you're not prepared, and you don't have a good experience. Mm-hmm. And so, that's what I love about coaching athletes, is that I know what it takes. I know where people can go the wrong direction, and I keep them from going that way. And then most of the time they have these incredible experiences when they go do an Ironman, especially the first one. It's because you don't know what it's going to take. You don't really know if you can finish it. But then when you do cross that finish line, it's just this magic feel. And you have no time standard that you're trying to set, and so you're just free to go complete the race, embrace that joy of crossing the line, having thousands of people cheering, most people, none of us have that in our normal life. When you're at your house, people aren't going, yeah, Mark, you got up this morning. That doesn't happen. So it's just it's a cool thing.
Do you have an advice for the guys and girls who qualify for the first time and will go there in October?
Yeah, the biggest thing for people who qualify, let's say here, and then they go to Ironman in October, is when you go to Hawaii, try not to judge that race by what the experience here was, because the race here will feel very different than racing in Kona. And so maybe it'll feel like it's a little harder, or you're going a little slower, or the wind's more intense, or this, it's not as smooth as it was in Frankfurt, and you think you're having a lousy day, but you're having a great Ironman Hawaii day. So you have to judge it on that day itself and not compare it to other Ironmans that you did that are going to be very different. And if you can do that, then it's going to be an amazing experience.
What are the people like who are coached by you? Do you have athletes in Germany you are coaching?
I do, yeah, and a few will be racing on Sunday, so that's exciting. Most of I coach basically all age group athletes, and I love that because they're people that work, they have families, they have jobs, but they have this passion and this desire to do a triathlon, to do an Olympic distance or 70.3 or to do Ironman Frankfurt. And it's just really fun to, just give them the guidance, give them the pushes when they need, and hold them back when they're doing too much. And then, on the race day, when they finish and they're like, wow, that was so amazing. Thank you. It's just fun. It's really satisfying.
Yeah, I just saw another question. People are thinking about what will happen with the new start waves in Kona. Does it take some of the spirit away of that race?
It's different, but I think it's good. I think it'll be good because, in the early years, everybody started together, but the difference in abilities was so much that on the bike, everything spread out. Now, everybody is so good that the only way to spread them out on the bike is to start them in waves. And so the start will feel different because, there's more waves. But once people are out on the course, on the bike, on the run, it's going to feel exactly the same. And, everybody's still going to be seeing everybody. It's not like half the field is doing this race and the other half is going on a different street. Everybody still does the same course. And so at the end of the day, it's going to be just amazing.
Do you know where your bike of that 1989 race is?
I don't know where the bike is.
But another bike of that year is in this race on Sunday.
That Nishiki?
Yeah.
I saw that bike today and somebody was pointing it out.
It's not in the race.
Oh, it's not in the race, yeah. But it's here. Yeah, we saw it today.
Yeah, it's amazing the difference in just the technology of the bikes since 1989. A world of difference.
So we've seen you did an 8:09 in that year. What would you have been able to do with the bikes that people ride today? And another pavement and everything else that developed in the sport.
Oh, 7:30. No.
Would you love to race people like Jan Frodeno?
Oh yeah, to race Jan or to race Patrick or to race Sebi, they would have been great guys to race against. Jan would have been kind of, for me, I think, like racing Dave, and Patrick would have been like racing myself, and Sebi would have been like racing Wolfgang, but who could actually run, and so these guys are great. They're world class clearly, and they would have been really fun to compete against.
Yeah. Here's a comment from Jana. She says, I would like to congratulate Mark not only for his amazing 6 wins in Kona, but also for his positive spirit and attitude that he has always kept since then. Keep on surfing.
Keep on surfing. Yeah. I'm doing it. I'm trying.
Yeah, I think it's so inspiring for triathletes, watching the old videos, see you fighting against each other, and it's amazing. 6th time in a row. Nobody can imagine what that means. That's really inspiring, even today, for us haven't seen it in the past.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are here because of that and because of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. Well, people ask me, how did you do that? And I just said 1 year at a time. It wasn't part of some master plan to try and tie Dave's record. It just sort of evolved 1 year to the next, and that's really how I approached my career, was 1 year at a time. I would race, like in 1989, I raced it, and then when that was done, I moved on from it and knew that the next year the race in Kona would be very different, and so I had to try to make sure that I was prepared for what that next race would be, and the one after that, and then the one after that. And looking back, I just am so thankful that I was able to do what I did, and still be here to be talking to all you guys out there, to be, part of what has become a truly, iconic Ironman here in Germany and in the worldwide circuit. So, yeah, amazing.
What will you do on Sunday?
Go to the buffet at the hotel. Oh, no, I'll be at the swim start for sure. I might get out on the bike course, hopefully, and then for sure be watching all the loops on the run, and then here at the finish line for the top finishers and a lot of the age groupers, and certainly I'll be here for the last person to cross.
And shake hands. So a lot of people want to be the last person to cross.
Yeah, well, I'll be there for them, whoever they are. However many of those there are at the end, yeah.
There are a lot.
Of course, we can't stop this show without asking you for your picks for Sunday and for Kona.
Oh boy. Well, I think for the guys, the top three the three guys I've been talking about have to be the three favorites. One of the guys who runs all the stats actually said that Sebi is a little statistically he is the favorite, but with the intense competitive spirit of Jan and just the Patrick's, he feels responsible to always try to do his best and to give a great race. It's going to be, I can't tell which one is going to be, first, second, third. And who knows, there might be somebody else who sneaks in there. That's the magic of Ironman, is it's so unpredictable. And, we can talk about it all day and all night. And then when the race comes, then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, now I see why he got second. Yeah. And so, and for the women, it would be kind of fun to see Sarah True win, just because she was second last year. And I'm sure you know the story. Her bike didn't arrive for a couple of days, and now it's here. So she's had to hold herself together a little bit from stuff that hasn't been perfect coming into the race. But, she'll have her hands full for sure.
And for Kona? Is it too early to talk about Kona, or with the new qualification system, we know who is in? We still waiting for some people who are in.
Well, for Kona, let me start with the women. I don't know if anyone is at this point capable of beating Daniela if she's having a good day, and she doesn't have to have her best day to win. She's won with some Ironmans over there where she struggled. But she's so strong, and she continues to be just incredibly strong. So, for sure, she would have to be the favorite. And then in Kona, I would have to say that Patrick would be my pick for the men. Even though if Frodo's there, it's not going to be easy. Just because to be consistent on the run in Hawaii is very difficult. And Patrick has had 3 incredibly solid marathons the last 3 years, and so, unless something crazy happens to him, I can envision that he's going to have another run of 240 or under. And if you run under 240, it's going to be very hard for anybody else to beat you.
So after 4 more years, he will approach you again and apologize for taking your world record of 6 wins.
That would be a great day. That would be a great day.
Yeah, for us it was a great day. Mark Allen, thank you for being here.
Thanks a lot.
I wish you a great time here in Frankfurt. Enjoy the race on Sunday, and I see you at the finish line.
All right, we'll see you guys there. We'll see you there.